This is the Iceberg. It's one of Club Penguin's most famous rooms in the entire game, sitting apart from the actual island, but still being very much a part of the experience. When it was first revealed to the game all the way back in 2006, it was considered a secret room. There would be no indication of it being an area you could go to on the map, and instead, you would just have to know that information from others. Over time, more and more people figured out that this really was a completely new room you could access, one that would become more and more popular as the years continued. But because the Iceberg started out in Club Penguin with a pinch of mystery, it's no surprise to realize what was spreading around pretty much everywhere you can think of. When players talked about the game online, this urban legend seemingly came out of nowhere. Since 2007, one idea was on everyone's minds. The Iceberg could be tipped. It's hard to figure out the origins behind that message, but who cares? This began spreading around like wildfire. Penguins would head to the Iceberg, wear a hard hat, and start drilling to try and tip the Iceberg. Of course, this wouldn't work. It was 100% an urban legend, something that wouldn't actually become true, yet still continued to spread despite all of the failed attempts. Over the years Club Penguin was active, there would be frequent ice tipping parties. Large groups of players would go to that legendary spot on the map, and they would all work together to accomplish the impossible. I remember some people waddling around Club Penguin and screaming for people to head to the Iceberg. Everyone constantly gathered up with the same goal in mind. Some of them thought that the way to tip it was to all turn the same color, others believed it was to stand on one specific part, but no matter what, they worked together. Now with a massive hoax like this, it's only obvious that pictures and videos would release online of the Iceberg actually being tipped. Some of them looked convincing, but they were nothing more than edits that brought more people into the idea of the hoax. Because of this fuel constantly being added to the fire, it was only natural that even more would attempt the greatest feat of all in tipping the Iceberg. Thanks to just how massive this topic of discussion had become, the Club Penguin team started teasing players a bit. At one point during the weekly newspaper, there was a question submitted to Antarctic about what's under the iceberg. In her response, she talked about how it's one of the island's most mysterious places and how nobody really knows what's under there. She went into detail about the various rare items that penguins claimed they'd find, but nothing was 100% confirmed. She specifically mentions the idea of tipping the iceberg and hoped to find the true answers one day. Another reference from the official Club Penguin team comes in the form of this Berg drill stamp. You needed to team up with at least 29 other people, and all of you had to be drilling the iceberg while wearing a hard hat. This definitely helped promote the idea of the urban legend, even if it couldn't actually be tipped. There was a time in the game's run where this picture was located in the lodge attic. It showed the impossible event surprisingly being achieved, but in order to pull it off, aliens were somehow involved. It just goes to show you how insane tipping the iceberg was, and that it was really as mysterious as a UFO. For many older players who have grown up playing Club Penguin, there's a pretty good chance they've heard of the whole urban legend with tipping the iceberg. Seeing each and every attempt result in failure was disappointing, but the fact that so many penguins would work together to accomplish the same goal was really amazing. But despite the years going by and these attempts that faded with time, this is a story with a happy ending. In 2017, Club Penguin would be shutting down for good. For many, including me, it was like a piece of your childhood was just disappearing and would never come back. Luckily, the game's team decided to give us an incredible farewell gift in the form of a certain urban legend surrounding a certain iceberg. Yeah, that's right! With not long left before Club Penguin turned off its servers for good, they finally made it possible to tip the iceberg. I can die happy now. After a large group of hard hat penguins drill into one side, we finally get to see one of the biggest mysteries in the entire game come to life. A completely hidden dance floor revealed itself, along with these speakers, and it's just a pretty exciting party. How this all could work underwater is a big mystery itself, but who cares about that? We tipped the iceberg, that's all that matters. After achieving their goal, penguins were treated to a free item. This blue version of the hard hat called the Iceberg Tipper. They could also witness a personal message from the team to them. Together, we can build an island, create a community, change the world, and even tip the iceberg. Waddle on. This message reveals how incredible the entire urban legend was from the beginning. The fact that so many years had gone by, and yet generations of people came together in any circumstances to achieve their iceberg tipping goal, that's really awesome. They worked as members of a bigger community, and in the end, all of their efforts hadn't gone to waste. best. While it was still sad we had to say goodbye to Club Penguin, getting the opportunity to tip the iceberg made things a whole lot better. It was like seeing the ultimate resolution and feeling satisfied before the curtains of a long movie close. Club Penguin was less of a game and more of an experience. It was important to so many people around the world, and sending it off with an iceberg tipping bang was absolutely perfect. But do you have any memories of putting the legend to the test while Club Penguin was active? Or is this the first time you're hearing about it? Let's talk in the comments. But anyway, that's all for this video. Subscribe for more awesome cartoon videos. Give a thumbs up and comment below, let me know what you think. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.